Now, I've been cruising for about 20 years, and truthfully, I'm not sure why cruising is still so misunderstood. If it's not the actual hate comments, it's things that really just aren't true about cruising, at least not anymore. Hi there, I'm Ilana from the website lifewellcruise.com. Welcome back to my channel. Now, I have definitely seen my share of cruise hate comments over the years. But nothing gets more cruise hate comments than a cruise YouTube channel or a cruise Facebook page. I'm not sure why these people are even following these pages, but it definitely does happen. In fact, I recently got a comment that went something like this: cruises are like a floating prison. Yes, that is a little bit of a new one, but I've definitely seen a lot of the same comments come up again and again. And it turns out when I asked the members of our Life Well Cruise Facebook community for some examples of things that non-cruisers believe about cruising that are absolutely not true, well, they had a lot of great things to say. So in this video, I'll share the 10 most common things that non-cruisers seem to believe about cruising, including their objectives of why they don't think that they would like it at all. Now, this list is in no particular order, except that I did save the one that is the most common for last. Now, before I get started, I did want to mention that if you like this video, if you find it helpful, informative, or enjoyable in any way, then please do give this video a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Let's get started. Number one, I'm worried that I'll get seasick. Now, I actually understand this one because if you've ever had motion sickness, it's a pretty miserable feeling. And people have sometimes gone on a boat when they were in camp, or maybe they went on a ferry, maybe they went on a fishing boat, and they felt pretty miserable, and they're worried that this is something that's going to happen to them if they take a cruise. Now, of course, if you've cruised before, you know that nothing could be farther from the truth. In fact, cruise ships are very large. They now have stabilizers. All modern cruise ships really have a lot of technology and other things put into place to make the cruise ships very stable. Now, that being said, it is possible to feel a little bit of motion on a cruise, but there are also a lot of different remedies to help with seasickness symptoms and to prevent it. Now, those include, of course, over-the-counter medications as well as natural remedies. Number two, cruising is just for old people or retired people. Now, we know that that is not true. In fact, right now, Gen Z and millennials are cruising like never before, and that age group is actually increasing. Now, people who cruise regularly know that there is a cruise ship and a cruise line for everybody. And of course, there are many people that are retired and are older and love cruising as a mode of travel. It is really just fantastic. But we also know that there are many family-orientated cruise ships or cruise ships that are great for young people or even for single people, and there really is something for everyone. Number three, now this one actually surprised me because I've personally never heard it before, but apparently many people in the Life Well Cruise Facebook community have heard it. It's, I can't swim, so I'm afraid and I don't want to go on a cruise. Now, what one person said is, I can't fly and I still go on airplanes. So of course, just because you can't swim doesn't mean that you can't go on a cruise. Now, if it is because of any safety concerns, of course, cruise ships have so many different safety protocols put into place. Cruises are a very safe way to travel, and the chance of actually needing the skill to swim to go on a cruise is very highly unlikely. Number four, I'll be trapped on a cruise with nothing to do. Yes, many people don't want to go on a cruise because they think that they will be bored. Now, if you've been on a cruise, you know nothing could be further from the truth. I'm even surprised people still have this belief, because if you take a look at any of the marketing and the advertising from all of these different cruise lines, it is obvious. There is so much to do on a cruise, from the actual activities that are on board during the day, during the evening, the entertainment, the live music, the shows, and the size of some of these ships would pretty much tell us that there is no chance that you'd be bored on a cruise. Number five, that cruise ships are too crowded, and I'm an introvert, so I am going to be miserable. Well, a lot of people pointed out that they actually don't love crowds, and they were surprised that when they went on a cruise that they were able to find so many quiet spaces around the cruise ship, and that even though they are an introvert, that when they're on a cruise ship, somehow they find that people are really friendly, and if they do want to talk to other people, they find it a really comfortable place to do so. Number 6, that cruising is too expensive. Well, as one commenter pointed out, cruising can be as expensive or as inexpensive as you want it to be. And even though prices of cruises have gone up, like everything has gone up in the world, the price of cruises is still very affordable. Not only can you get promotions and specials at different times, but you can choose a cabin that is more budget friendly. You could play around with the dates of travel to find a cruise that is less expensive. You could choose to take advantage of everything that is included on a cruise and not have to pay for any extras like drink packages or specialty dining. And you can use all sorts of hacks and tools to find the very best deal on a cruise. By the way, anyone who says that cruising is so expensive and how can you afford it probably hasn't tried to book a hotel recently, because over the last year, I've been paying more for hotels than I've ever paid in my life. And by the way, they're regular, like 3.5, 4-star hotels. They're nothing super, super fancy. And I'm looking even at a hotel in a country in Europe. I will tell you about that upcoming cruise soon in another video. But I am shocked at the prices of the hotel stays that really don't even include anything. Please let me know if you've had similar experiences when it comes to hotels down in the comments below. Number 7, that I don't want to sit with strangers at dinner. Well, you know what? This was part of cruising up until just a few years ago, and you can definitely still share a table at dinner time. I know a lot of people either still really like it now, or people like me just have really great memories of cruising like that. So that's definitely possible. But most of the time, if you want to sit just your family or just 2 people or just on your own, that is all something that is very possible right now. So that really is an old cruising myth. Number 8, cruises are too formal. I don't want to have to get dressed up in a gown or a tuxedo. Well, of course, cruises have really changed, especially over the last few years. And I still get comments from people under my videos that actually worry that they are going to be underdressed on a cruise and that they're not going to feel comfortable. So I definitely understand that, but that just isn't the case anymore. While cruise lines, most of them still do have a formal night or a gala night of some sort where a lot of people like to still dress up. Those strict formal dress codes on most cruise lines are a thing of the past. Now I have 2 more, including the one that was repeated the most often. And then I have 5 honorable mentions. Number 9, I don't want to go on a cruise because it's too easy to fall overboard. Now this is something very sad, and I don't like to make light of it. The reality is it is not easy to go overboard on a cruise ship. There has to be some intention to that. And just like people, if they go up to a tall building, they would exercise safety precautions like not climbing on railings, or if people walk over a bridge, the same thing has to be done on a cruise ship. But these situations are indeed very rare, and people cannot accidentally fall overboard. Number 10, and then don't forget, I do have those honorable mentions. I don't want to go on a cruise because it is like a petri dish. Now let me know if that's the one that you guessed. But yes, people say that haven't gone on a cruise, of course, that cruises are like petri dishes and that germs just are spreading everywhere. Now, while germs and illnesses can definitely spread on a cruise ship, just like they can spread at a hotel, at a resort, in hospitals, in other areas, well, cruise ships actually do take this very seriously. They disinfect, they sanitize, they clean. They have a lot of different protocols to make sure that they actually really minimize the spread of illness. And anyone who's ever been on a cruise sees the crew cleaning constantly, everything from cleaning and disinfecting the handrails to cleaning in the buffet to asking passengers to make sure they wash their hands or they disinfect their hands. And they do monitor the spread of any illnesses on board, and they report that as well, which is why we end up hearing about it. Okay, so now I have 5 honorable mentions. All there is to do on a cruise ship is eat. Well, it is easy enough to eat on a cruise because there really are a lot of options and a lot of opportunities to indulge if you like to. But there are a lot of other things to do on a cruise, and something that a lot of people might not be aware of is There are tons of healthy options, fresh fruits, vegetables, and even these days, a variety of different cuisines. People are drunk and partying 24/7. Now, this is definitely not true, although, of course, on some cruise lines or some cruise ships, you're going to see this a little bit more than others. But in our experience, and we've been on several different cruise lines now, we have not found this to be the case. You have to get off in a cruise port of call. No, you don't have to get off in a cruise port of call. But if you've never been on a cruise before, I could definitely understand how people can believe that. You must buy a drink package because there are no drinks that are free or included. Now, I guess cruise lines do a pretty good job at really marketing that drink package, but there are a lot of drinks that are included, and definitely nobody has to feel the need to buy a drink package if they don't want it. And last but not least, non-cruisers seem to have a lot of comparisons of today's modern cruise ships to the Titanic, including, oh, you're going on a Caribbean cruise? Watch out that you don't hit an iceberg. Yeah, there's not a high probability that that's going to happen. Now, please let me know, what was your favorite one that people actually still believe about cruising? Please let me know down in the comments below, or if you have any other funny or even just ridiculous things that people do say about cruising, please let me know down in the comments below. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give it a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Bye for now and happy cruising.